Hello, mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. All right, how's everyone doing? It's your homeboy Extreme Tony welcoming everyone to this Saturday morning episode of, or rather Saturday afternoon, for Southern California's CGWL Titans, episode number 30, that took place March 12th.
Making his way to the ring from Houston, Texas, weighing in at 240 pounds, Butch Bennett.
So one thing is, we are going to have number one contenders match for all the titles. Because the management has been impressed with the outings from Sabine Fontaine, and she's going to be the number one contenders match against Laura Iceberg. And then the two other tag teams, the Foreign Legion and Run NHC, are going to battle it out for the number one contenders match for the Southern California CGWL tag team titles. And then in the main event, Eric Blackwell is going to have his opportunity as he takes on Pika Icorn in the main event to determine who's going to challenge for the world title. So the next episode for next week is going to be the next mega event. There. I'll say in April will be the third event for Southern California CGWL.
From Asbury Park, New Jersey, weighing in at 220 pounds, Randy Ramon Robinson.
Here comes Randy the Ram. What you would consider a high flyer during this era. He uses more aerial maneuvers. Because I know, like, during this time, they would have the Puriso in Japan, the Lucha Libre style in Mexico, and more technical European style that are yet to make their way to American shores. And of course, the Southern wrestling that was more in with a lot of the during the Southern territory, like World Class in Texas, World Class Championship Wrestling, or Jim Crockett Promotions in North Carolina, or Georgia Championship Wrestling, of course, the state of Georgia, in Mid-South. All the compilations of Southern Wrestling promotions that was different from you would see in the Twin Cities and with the AWA, or that was more of a technical style, or the circus act that was Vince McMahon Jr. bringing with in New York. of course, WWF, the more cartoonish style that became prominent in pro wrestling when it went into the 90s, and now cover one, and only a one count by referee Marty Fly. And yeah, pro wrestling referees, they look like boxing referees. And it wasn't until like the late 90s when they changed their shirt to look like zebra uniforms like you would see with a football referee. The other one of CEW League of the past, you definitely have to know your history. Oh, nice springboard forearm shot by Butch Banks. Look at this. Oh, damn. That type of maneuver is pretty ahead of its time, because one thing is like MMA wasn't a thing until like the mid to late 90s when UFC popped up. And one thing is like it wasn't even a thing yet. Like just like how around this time in this part of the timeline, Nick Gemini wasn't even born yet. He was born in '94. Which, by the way, we're still mourning the passing of Nick Gemini in modern times. It shows how fast life can come and go. Look at this. Oh, Ram Jam by Randy the Ram Robinson. 2. Oh. 2 and 99% as Butch Banks kicked out. What? What? What's it doing? Huh? Huh? Just quit.
Here is your winner, Randy Ramon Robinson.
Opening contest. You guys agree with that? Alright, so the first of the of 3 number 1 contenders matches.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from Paris, France, Sabin!
There comes the spot. Like a big old jacket, like develop the style that he uses. Like Sidney Lauper would wear big jackets. The whole Rocket Wrestling connection, and definitely got influence in the 80s.
And from Anchorage, Alaska, Laura the Icon Berry!
And here's Laura Iceberg. everyone's having a good weekend. Hey, in the chat, don't be shy. Drop a line, say hi. But yeah, I was pretty. Cause like the more that are in this chat, I know the more lively you'll get. And because when I see don't see anyone in the chat for a long time, I'm just kind of creepy. That's why someone for. I just called Sabine Fontaine. Like, I love what I do. I just so. They kind of each other with balls, but again. A lot of people are making some pretty good tributes to Nick Gemini. Oh, damn, nice crossbody from Sabine Fontaine. Because could this be her big opportunity? Oh, damn, what a forearm shot. Now look at this. Ooh.
Here is your winner.
Yeah. So you got to give credit to Sabine Fontaine for getting a clean win over a former champion. Okay, so let's get the next match going. Leonard Collins going one-on-one against Giuseppe McMary. Should be an interesting match here.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Newport, Wales. Weighing in at 228 pounds, the future Leonard Collins.
So I placed this right inside. I did a double header last night with 2 Nick Gemini tribute shows with both WCDL and XGWL live, and that was the longest I've ever done a live stream for 4 hours. And one thing, to be honest, I didn't think that the WCDL live stream would run that long, but it did. It happens, depending on the match, on each individual matches. That's why there's a reason why a lot of the TV matches last somewhere between 3 to 6 minutes. And maybe the main event will last somewhere between 6 to 9 minutes, because timing, pacing, and like premium events, they should run between 9 to 12 minutes. Like the main event probably run between 12 to 15. But I'm talking about not like total length from when they enter the ring, the first competitor enters the ring, to when the victory animation is over. I mean, from bell to bell. So that's why when I say match length, I do specifically mean from bell to bell. Like when the match begins, and then when the match ends. And not every one should have a grand old enter the last 2 minutes. It should. I mean, yeah, jobbers should have like an enter the last like 45 seconds maybe. And like maybe a few main eventers could have their entries run for like a minute 15 seconds. Anything else is just too much. Now look at this, Giuseppe McMary going real old school. That spinning toe hold. And yes, these are things that is going to be showing up in the video summary that's made by Google Gemini. Because everything I talk about during the live stream is summarized on Google Gemini. When you click on the video and then you see that Google Gemini icon and you ask it to summarize the video, it'll give you a run through of everything, the main points of the video, and then you'll ask, and then you'll ask specific question. What was this and that about certain points? Like how on last week's video I talked about laundry or Mother's Day, and just something like a random comment. So keep in mind, for all of you that are doing live streams, doing commentary, do keep that in mind. I would recommend everyone to have specific things you want to talk about during the live streams, but mainly focus on calling the action in the ring. And maybe push the narrative of the dialogue of the story that's going on in the ring, and maybe in the main event, or stories that everyone should follow along. Like how they have both Vincent and Lauren McMary at ringside for Giuseppe's match, keeping the McMary family name strong. Setting an example for future generations. Like the parents of Vincent McMary, the father of Vincent McMary, Enzo, who wrestled in the 60s in Europe, or Vincent's son, Mario McMary, and then Vincent McMary's grandson, Jimmy Knight of Profis McMary, and then Vincent McMary's great-grandchildren, and Zion and Marcus McMary. Cover now 1, 2. 2 and 99% by referee Marty Fly. As Leonard Collins rolls out of the ring, Giuseppe wastes no time and following him to the outside. That is the aggressive target. What the fuck? Are you serious? What? Pretty much so. So yes, welcome. Like and drop in. And now Leonard Collins is trying to regain control of this one. The grandfather of JC Wolf. And I did make a suggestion to JC that the general manager of the show should be renamed to JAYC with the C middle initial Collins and be JC Wolf's brother. That would actually be a more logical thing to do, especially since the name of Jordan Collins is the name that was once used by JC Wolf. As these two are continuing to fight on the outside, as Leonard Collins is trying to keep the upper hand. And we're ready to bring this action back in the ring. And earlier on, Sabine Fontaine, damn, look at that modified airplane spin. How Sabine Fontaine punched her ticket to get a shot at the Southern California CW Women's Championship. As going to be taking on Gem Master D at a future event. As referee Marty Fly was able to put that turnbuckle pad back on. Okay, that's the one thing that Leonard Collins is going to have to do. He's going to have to periodically check in at ringside, see if either Vincent or Lauren McMahon are going to get involved in this match. And now Giuseppe bringing Leonard Collins to the corner. And, just kicking him right in the leg. And they get repeated strikes. Let's see what Giuseppe's going to do here. Superplex? How high up? Damn. Took just as much out of Giuseppe as it did Leonard Collins. And as just like with earlier, how Leonard Collins rolled out of the ring, Giuseppe followed. And damn, like right outside with that low blow. And also how I mentioned earlier in the live stream how around this time, and damn, Leonard Collins getting the win via countout as Giuseppe wasn't able to get the 10 count in time. Like right as the referee counted 10, that's when Giuseppe was about to enter the ring. But at that point, 10 count, that's it. The drama. Alright, so I love it. Okay. Next match. Mariposa Violeta versus Donna Nick Mary. I know if Apophis was here, we say, "Go mom!" Husband Mario. And I joke, Donna Peach Mary. But yes, I like to have a little bit of humor. Because these are things I gotta start taking notes. Like write down. I gotta write down a piece of paper.
From Mexico City, Mexico,
I gotta start, like on all the like every subject that I want to talk about in the school of CEW, like the side project that's been that's been dormant for many years. That like sooner or later I am gonna have to put something out. Well, my computer was still working. I haven't tested it. Because one thing, like, what happened one time, like, the power went out. I just haven't turned on the computer since. Donna, Peach, Nick Mary. Even though Donna Nick Mary is not a blonde.
And from Brooklyn, New York, Donna Nick Mary.
I know that the Google Gemini would want to call him NICK space MARMRI. When I keep correcting it, like, it's Nick Mary, NICMERI. So yeah, because one thing is, like, the Nick Mary dynasty is one of the largest wrestling dynasties in CW. Whether they were born into the family or have married into the family. Like Jamari Mead's sister has married into the Nick Mary family. And now, here we go as the bell is sounded. Much like with the local / right family dynasty. How Extreme Tony married into the right family wrestling dynasty. We have here brothers Bradley and Brody Nick Wright and Bradley's wife Sarah. And then having two kids, Bradley Jr. and Tammy. And now look at this. Oh, nice springboard moonsault. And now the cover. 1, 2. Ooh. And then XGWL accountant Bradley Jr. then having two kids, Bradley the third and Cameron. Right, started wrestling WCDL. Of course, their cousin, Rihanna logo. Nice Hurricanrana, bringing in that Lucha Libre style, coming from Mexico City. Look at that. Nice drop kick. That snapmare drop kick combination. Because that was one of my favorite moves from the PS2 era of wrestling games. With Here Comes the Pain, that snapmare dropkick combination. And now look at this. Damn. That swinging neck breaker. And now going to the top rope. Ooh, nice moonsault. Cover. Oh, unfortunately, Donna McMurray was too close to the rope. And try to get the crowd behind her. But does connect with that springboard moonsault. And now the cover. 1, 2. Damn, and Mariposa Violeta getting the win.
Here is your winner, Marine Post Violence.
One thing is, one of the things I need to have is goals of how long each match should run for, and also like the total length of show. Like, if I have a show that's going to be that's only going to be 6 matches, the show should last for about an hour 15, somewhere between 45 minutes, the shortest length, to an hour 15 at the longest. And the one thing that helps with that is how fast the loading time is. Tag titles. #1 contenders match. Ojukwe. The Foreign Legion, Alexander Romanov.
The following is a tag team match set for one fall. On the way to the ring, at a combined weight of 568 pounds, the Fallen.
Now being accompanied by the Southern California CW Women's Champion, Jam Master D, hoping to get another shot at the Southern California CW Tag Team Championships.
And their opponents, at a combined weight of 503 pounds, the Rough Riders.
And I know the ring announcer calls them the Rough Riders, but I mean, see, because the name of the team is Run MAC. That's cool. Jeff Nike's calling them the Rough Rider only because the ring announcer calls them as such. Well, we definitely have a team here inspired by a legendary rap group from the 80s that started in the 80s with their Adidas and tracksuit, Kangol hats, and big old thick gold chains. Just the style as Byron Run is gonna start things off here against Ahmed the Egyptian. Definitely got to update the moveset because I know that's a little too ahead of its time. And this is our semi-main event. So one thing I saw in the PlayStation Store is that 2K26 is 25% off until May 27th, and then the Monday Night Wars edition is like 20% off. I know it's like tempting to get the game right now. Very tempting. I'm not gonna lie. Or should I hold out even more till there's a better discount? Cover now. One and only. I wonder when I got 2K25 was the Deadman edition. I got early September. And now the tag is Marvin Mack, the power of the team. Yeah, big old spine buster. Another Irish whip. Damn, that's very innovative. Another move ahead of its time. Cover now. One. And now Alexander Romanov, the Soviet soldier, getting tagged in. And now here comes Ahmed the Egyptian again. The original Ahmed the Egyptian. Some have said that Ahmed the Egyptian is a time traveler, but I highly doubt that. Because his grandson, Ahmed the Egyptian III, is competing in WCDL. And now look at this. Oh, goddamn. Right. Damn. Alexander Romanov knocking off Marvin Mack out of the ring, and now about to do the same to Byron Run. Oh. And now Marvin Mack turning his attention to Ahmed the Egyptian. And that's a little receipt. As this match is broken down a bit. Referee's got to regain control here. Referee Marty Fly. You know what I haven't done in a long time? Good commentary for a scripted episodic show. Whether it's XGWL Stars or Phoenix Pro, XWE, or any other CW league. Because I honestly do miss good commentary. Hey Ahmed, welcome. And now Byron Run trying to go toe-to-toe with a much larger opponent in Alexander Romanov. the athleticism and that beautiful deep arm drag that certain dragon will be proud of, as in Ricky Steamboat. Now look at this. Oh, good counter by Ahmed the Egyptian, the original Ahmed the Egyptian. Take that. Ooh, good counter by Alexander Romanov. Let's see what's going to do next. Clothesline. And now the tag to Marvin Mack. Ooh, what a power bomb. Cover. 1, 2, and the save by Ahmed the Egyptian. Now look at this. Ooh, nice. seems like Run MAC is going to be getting that title opportunity. And now for the main event, #1 contenders match for the world title.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Blackpool, England, weighing in at 244 pounds, Eric Blackwell. And his opponent from Honolulu, Hawaii, weighing in at 275 pounds, P.A.E. Hoots. P.A.E. Hoots.
Pika Icorn getting the title opportunity. Yeah. Well, good effort by Eric Blackwell. Let's see how well Pika Icorn does against Vincent McMurray. Alright, we'll start wrapping things up as we were able to complete the show in under an hour. So I'll thank everyone for tuning in. So if you like the video, like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends. We're on all the social platforms. With all that being said, this has been your homeboy Extreme Tony. Thank you for watching. And como siempre, I bid you guys adios, and we'll see you guys next week.